Hello everyone, my name is Lohana Dolly. I am social science teacher of Maharaja Agreshan International School. Today our topic is industries, as you can see here. So we are beginning with industries. What are industries? We now and then in the market, in the environment, we are seeing the industry is rising. So what actually is the meaning of industries? So it is a question mark. Different industries have different meaning. Industries are classified according to their work, according to the raw material they use. So today we will be discussing the brief classification of industries in this topic. Okay, so this is the next slide. Meaning of industries: the production of goods in factories or the people and the activities which are involved in producing something or providing a service. So industries means production of goods in factories. The books that we use reach to our hand with a very long procedure in that. How they reach to us? Suppose example, we had a book in that we are different pages with printed and some are non-printed also. So the paper is formed with the pulp which is converted from the wood. So it is converted in the factory where the paper is made. Paper is made in the pulp manufacturing factory. So the production of goods in factory is also known as industries. Industries are known for production of goods in factory. Different people are involved in producing something in their service and giving out service for the goods they produce. So the actual meaning, this is the short meaning. Actual meaning of industry is: industries refer to an economic activity that is concerned with production of goods, extraction of minerals, or the provisions of the services. Industry is an economic activity. Why it is an economic activity? Because people engage in the industry get economic return, means that is the money return on the work they do. So it is concerned with the production of goods. Goods are produced, minerals are extracted from the mineral, from the ores, the raw material, and goods are used as provision of services. Suppose here is one example. Iron and steel are used as an industry, that is the production of goods. Iron and steel industries are the production of goods and service industry. The second is extraction of coal. So the coal mining industries are the example of extraction of coal. The service providers industries are tourism service, like tourism industry. We know that tourism industry is developing very far and in a very good manner because people like to travel now and then. So tourism industry is also a service provider kind of industry. Now classification of industries. Industries are classified into various forms, that is raw material, size and ownership. On the basis of raw material, on the basis of size, on the basis of ownership, the industries are classified into three types. Further they are divided into subdivisions that we will be seeing in the further slides. So first we are starting up with the raw material. Industries are divided on the basis of raw material they use. So they are divided into four types on the basis of raw material they use. That is agro-based industries, mineral-based industries, marine industries and foreign industries. Agro-based industries and mineral industries, marine and foreign industry. What are these industries actually? So agro-based industries are the industries which use the products of plants and animals. Mineral based industries are the industries which use the mineral ores that are extracted from the earth crust. The industries are based on the raw material they use. So next is marine. These are the industries which use the raw material from seas and oceans, from the rivers they get, and they extract a final product from that. Forest based industries are the industries which use the forest products for the manufacturing of goods in their industries. So divided into further, the agro-based industries use raw material and we will be seeing the examples for that. So agro-based industries are the industries which use the plants and animal based products for their manufacturing of goods. For the manufacturing of goods, agro-based industry use animal products and plants. Suppose example, the dairy industry use milk from the cow, from the buffaloes, and make a final product, and from that they make byproducts also, like curd, cheese, butter, ghee, etc. are the other products that are made from the animal based products in the dairy industry. Vegetable oil, plants and animals are used also to extract the vegetable oil. So these are the agro based industries. Now mineral based industries, that are also known as primary industry. Why they are known as primary industry? I have written here PI, that is primary industry, because primary industry turns to be the feeding on the other industries, means primary industries feed other industries. Other industry depend on mineral and primary industry for the raw material. Suppose the machine manufacturing industry is dependent on the mineral based industries because they need to make machine, so they will require iron and the wooden for their manufacturing, so they depend on the mineral based industry. That's why the mineral based industries are also known as primary industries, and the industry that depend on the mineral based industry or that is primary industry are known as the secondary industry, means they use the raw material manufactured by the mineral based or primary industry as their raw material. Okay, so the example over here is iron made from iron ore is the example for mineral based industry. Raw material, what they use as a raw material, the mineral ore extracted from the earth crust, they use it as a raw material, and from that they convert it into a final product, that is iron from the iron ore. Other industry use product of this industry as a raw material. Example, building. For manufacturing of a building, for construction of a building, the secondary industries need iron, wooden and other material for their construction. So they take the raw material from this industry and use there as a final product in the building construction. Now the next is marine industry and forest based industry. Marine industry use products from sea and oceans. The products from the sea and oceans are used as a raw material in the marine industries. The example are manufacturing of fish oil. Fish oil, we now and then see many of the people are now eating fish and other non-vegetarian products. So the fish oil is also used in many of their sources. So the raw material like the fish from the sea are used for manufacturing of the fish oil. Now next is forest based industries. The forest based industries use raw materials such as forest produce. Forest produce means forest products like flowers, wood. They all use such kind of things for manufacturing of their final product in the industry. Suppose examples are paper. Paper is made from the pulp of wood. Pulp of wood, a pulp is extracted from the wood that is done in the pulp manufacturing industries, and then they are converted into paper. Furniture and building. Furniture are used in our daily routine such as in schools, hospitals, home and buildings. For construction of buildings also they required forest products such as bamboos for the construction of building. So forest based products, other example can be here forest produce as flowers. Flowers are used in perfume manufacturing industries. So these are the examples of forest based industries. These are divided on the basis of raw material. The first one was forest based, the second is marine, the third was agro, and the fourth one was mineral based industry. Now divided on the basis of size. On the basis of size, there are two types of industries, that is small scale and the large scale. What is small scale and what is large scale? The name itself defines the industry which are small, whose capital is small. whose number of employees means how many people are working in that industries are less compared to the large, are known as the small scale industry. Here, what does small scale industry produce? What does small scale industry use as a raw material? So we will be discussing right now raw material, basket weaving, pottery and handicraft. So they use raw materials such as basket weaving from the wooden, then pottery, that is they use clay materials, and the handicrafts. The example for these small scale industries are, the example of the industries which are based on the small scale are cottage and household industries, silk weaving industries and food processing industries are the small scale industries. The capital investment is less in small scale. The capital investment in the small scale is less, and the technology that is used is also not so good as compared to large scale. Large scale industry required huge amount of investment in the capital and technology, in the machineries, in the research, as compared to small scale industries. Now large scale industries, it is also divided into raw material examples and the capital investment. Raw material, that is iron, is used as a raw material in large scale. Material required for machinery, that is the screwdriver and nuts and etc. are the example that is required in the large scale industry. Examples of the large scale industry are automobile industry, heavy machine industry. Heavy machine making industries are the example of large scale industry. The capital required for making a machinery is more as compared to the small scale. The capital investment in the large scale industry is huge, and the technology expenses are also very high. So large scale industry are divided on the basis of the number of people employed over there. Also the number of people working in large scale industries are also more, and they are professional experts, because for manufacturing a machinery professional experts are needed so that no defect is found in the final product of the machinery. On the basis of ownership, now the third part is ownership. On the basis of ownership also, the industries are divided into four parts. The first part is private sector and the second is public sector. Private sector and public sector, the name itself defines. The private, it means the industry is owned by a private person, and the public means it is owned by the government. Okay, so it is owned by individual or the group of people. Private industries are owned by individual or the group of people, and they run the business, they invest the capital by themselves, they hire the technology, they hire the experts, number of employees on their own. Example of a private sector industry is Reliance industry. It is a private based industry. Now next is public sector industries. Public sector industries are governed by government. They are owned by the government. Example of public sector are railway, Hindustan Aeronautical Industries are such of the examples of the public sector industry. Railway is the very biggest and a very public sector industry of the government. It gives employment to more than 3 to 4 lakh people in India, and it is the one of the biggest income source of government. So it is the public sector industry. Now next is last, that is joint sector and cooperative sector. What is joint sector and what is cooperative? Joint sector itself gives a brief introduction, that is it is joint, means public and private together form a joint sector company, that the state and individual or a group of people are the owner of the joint sector company industry, and the example are Maruti Udyog Limited. The name limited itself divides that it is a joint sector company. The private sector will have private limited. Okay, so it is owned by the state, and the individual or the group of people together form a joint sector industry. Now next is cooperative sector industry. What is cooperative sector industry? So the cooperative sector is owned by the producer or supplier of the raw material. The producer and the supplier of the raw material together form a cooperative sector industry. Example is Anand Milk Union Limited. The producer and supplier, the producer of the final product and the supplier of the raw material, they together form a cooperative sector industry. And one of the best example for cooperative sector industry is Anand Milk Union Limited. We have also known other cooperative housing societies also. So they are the form of company from there, but here it is cooperative sector industry, means they in return earn economic benefit from the product they are manufacturing. So today we have discussed about various forms and classifications of industries. The first one was on the basis of raw material, the second one was on the basis of size, the third one was on the basis of ownership. On the basis of raw material, there are 4 types of industries. The first one was agro-based, the second one was mineral, the third one was forest, and the fourth one was marine. On the basis of size, there are 2 types of industries. The first one was small scale and the second one was large scale. And on the basis of ownership, for that it is divided into 4 parts. The first one was joint sector, the second is cooperative, third one was public, and the fourth one was private. So here we are done with the classification of industries. Thank you.